Hey guys, and welcome back to the JaysWithM Extra Innings podcast. This is the Baltimore series episode, as well as our look into the Atlanta Braves. So let's jump into it. So I don't want to know if my prediction is right or however you want to phrase it. We ended up splitting the series. I was really disappointed actually that we split because I was really hoping to take at least 3 out of 4 so we could stay up at the 500 level, because at the end of game 2 we had got up to the 500 level. And are now not at 500 anymore after how the last team moves in. But kicking it off, let's dive into game 1. So game 1 was Corbin versus Bassett, and honestly, it was an incredible pitching duel. Those two was absolutely insane. It was one of those old kind of two vets who knows how many I don't want to say starts, but how many years they have left in their careers, going at it for the win. So it was a very low scoring game. The final was 2-1 Blue Jays. Top of the third, kicking it off with an Andres Jimenez home run. I fucking love Jimenez. Jimenez is one of those guys who will always show up defensively for you. Anytime a ball is hit to him, he will put 110% effort into that play. He makes the plays. He's always doing a very good job. And then when he comes up with this great big power hit, nobody expects him. I see a lot of people say if there was a way you could have a designated fielder and they wouldn't hit, Jimenez would be perfect for that. I don't agree. Jimenez has always shown signs of life, and he comes up big sometimes. And he always will come up, and you don't expect it from him, but he's always showing up as a hitter for his team, and he makes some good plays. He's had good walks. He had that 11 pitch at bat earlier that we all felt like was a turning point as a team. I would not use that as a role for Jimenez. I feel like he deserves a shot in every at bat he gets. I really like him. Yeah, moving on from Jimenez, because this game was hella boring. Kind of glad I did not watch it because I was working. Get to the bottom of the fourth, which was Baltimore. Corbin is still pitching at this point. Kobe Mayo homers to center field. Game's now tied at 1. Whatever, all right. Who cares really for a tie game? Bottom of the first, we had a couple. We had a walk, a hit. Kind of bring that runner in from third base, which was kind of frustrating. I know this is going to get overshadowed as well. Yeah, I don't know what had happened, but I know Varsho hits a triple at some point in this game. Yeah, I don't remember when it was, though. It was just one of those moments that kind of got a little bit overshadowed was how well Varsho played. Or maybe that was game 2. Honestly, that whole weekend is a blur for me. And he's getting to the top of the 8th inning. Still 1-0. Still tied at 1, sorry, my bad. We have a George Springer double. Vladdy was intentionally walked. Varsho gets a walk. He worked an incredible walk. Piñango worked an incredible walk. Those at-bats to load the bases, there was a good couple pitches they could have gone after and maybe hit a sac fly or something. But no, they worked the pitcher for those walks, and they were really nice at-bats to see because they were not swinging crazy outside of the zone. And I was really happy with what it was. And funny enough, Piñango's walked in the run. So now the Jays are up 2-1 because of Varsho and Piñango's at bats, because of how good they were, which I was really happy to see. Blue Jays are now up 2-1. That would be the final score of that game. We won because Baltimore walked in a run. Because that's a huge debate. But yeah, it was Corbin, Fisher, Hoff, and Rogers, and our boy Varland. Varland did 1.5 innings just because in the bottom of the 8th inning, there's a couple guys on, and Rogers ran into a little bit of trouble. So Varland came in and got that last out of the 8th to send them to the top of the 9th to try and score a couple more, which he could not. In the end, handed over to Varland to get the win. Final 2-1 Blue Jays. Great first game. Had continued that point, the winning streak, to 3 after the Marlins series. Yeah. So then at this point, we're on a 3-game win streak now. And it was a great first game. Pitching did well, Corbin did well. And I don't want to overshadow it. Bassett had an incredible game. He was not the one who walked in the run. That was Nunez who had those walks. Bassett did 6 4-hit innings and only allowed 1 earned run, which was pretty damn good. I miss Bassett. I wish he was still a part of the Blue Jays in some way or form, because I really do miss him. So game 2, this was would have been Cease's start. So the one who actually got it was Mako. It was basically a bullpen day. It was Mako, Voth, Seabold, Fluharty, Fisher. Those were the five guys who pitched. Starting off, Mako had 3 hits in his 1.2 innings of work. He did 1 strikeout, did not allow a run. So pretty good for a kid who just came up. When he worked through his issues, he got out of it. Bottom of the 3rd is where it kind of falls apart for Voth, who was now pitching at this point. Voth ended up pitching 3.1 innings, allowed 5 hits, 5 earned, and 4 walks. Did not record a strikeout. So, bottom of the 3rd, Jackson Holiday singles, Trevor walks, Gunnar Henderson walks, bases are loaded. Adley Rutschman walks. He walks in the run, which I found was, I remember getting the game updates because I was at work this night. I worked 3 out of the 4 games of the series. And I remember getting that update. Like, that is ironic because that is how we won the game yesterday. And the first run scored in the second game of the series is our pitcher walking the bases loaded and then walking in the run, which is how we took the lead in the 8th in game 1. Alonso flies out. Balacino, which I definitely butchered. Sack fly. Baltimore's up 2-0. Whatever. Easy. You think the team can come back. It's not going to be that hard. No issue there whatsoever, in my opinion. Bottom of the 4th, it almost gets worse. As I did say, that it was a Baltimore did score 5 runs. Voth is still pitching at this point. Jackson Holiday homers to right field. Okay, down 3-0. The only hit he allowed that inning. Whatever. Okay, it's fine. We got this. Our hitters aren't doing anything at this point. Like, it's 3 up, 3 down. Basically every inning other than, this is the game. Barsha tripled in game 2 in the second inning. Like, I knew he had a triple. I couldn't remember which game. That was basically our only hit up until a point. Bottom of the 5th inning. I think this is when Voth finally gets the yank. Yeah, roughly around here. He gets the first 2. It's perfect. He's hopefully going to have a clean inning. Everything's going well. No complaints whatsoever, right? Pete Alonso homers to center field. Balacino homers to center field. Baltimore's up 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. So now at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I don't think we're going to come back from this. It feels like a loss. I don't know really what else I could say about it. Because then he allows a walk, a single. They've given the boot. Guy comes in and gets him out of it. Top of the 6th, double walk, can't bring them in. So there's a double play to end the inning. It's just frustrating because you're down by 5 runs. You can't be hitting into double plays, that kind of thing. But yeah, bottom of the 6th inning, 3 up, 3 down. Great performance there. I believe that was by Seabold. Maybe? Yeah. I don't even know who was pitching what innings anymore. I don't know. Top of the 7th is where it gets hella fucking interesting and gets a lot more intense. Vladdy singles to right field. Okamoto hits a 2-run home run. At this point, I remember, because I get game updates from my cousin. She'll text me little game updates as every couple hits, people getting left on. I get a lot more in-depth than I do from the apps. And I remember texting her being comeback time, with a question mark, just kind of joking, because I'm like, oh, maybe they could come back, not fully believing they could. Varsha then doubles. Charles McAdoo his first major league game, my first major league hit is a 2-run home run. And it like just, I remember watching like, oh my God. And I got that text message like, that's his first career hit and it's a home run. Well, all of a sudden, it is 5-4 Baltimore. The Jays are within 1 run. Like, I was like, oh my God, maybe we actually could come back. And I'm like, oh my God, my text message is like crazy because I find it hilarious. Couldn't score more there. 3 outs straight away. All 4 of those runs scored with nobody out, which was absolutely insane. Bottom of the 7th, no runs, no hits, no runs, which was perfect. I believe Siebold did part of the 7th, and I don't even know. I can't tell. I don't even know who was pitching. Because I know the 8th was Fluharty, and the 9th was Fisher. And Fluharty also pitched in the 6th. Top of the 8th inning. This is where it gets crazy. Springer singles, Ernie signals. So we have 2 guys on. Vladdy's at the plate with the go-ahead. He's the go-ahead run at first base. Vladdy doubles to deep left. I don't even know how long it's been since that man had an extra base hit, and I don't even want to know the stat. But Vladdy hitting a double in that moment, I feel like I'm like, this is it. This is another one of those moments that can spark the team. It is going to get them going on the roll we know they can go on like they did last year. Because I'm one of the only people I feel like who still believes, I still believe they can get on pace to make the playoffs. Like, we're in the wild card right now, or like we're half a game out of it. But we're right there. We're with the other teams, and I fully believe that if we can get to playing a little bit better and doing what I know this team can do, we can fully go for the division. That should be their goal, is to get on track and go for the division. We are in the exact same place, basically, as we were this season. Crazy fun fact, May 29th, 2025 was when we hit the 500 mark last season. May 29th, 2026 is when we hit the 500 mark this season. So for those of you who say we are out of it, season's over, I don't believe you. And I am going to continue to disagree with that fact because of what happened last year. And I know it could be once in a miracle, but I don't care. I still firmly believe we can get back into the playoffs. Even if it's not as division winners, we could get into the wild card. I firmly believe we can get back to where we were last season. But yeah, moving on, no more hits. Braden Fisher comes into the bottom of the 9th inning. Ground out, fly out. There's a fielding error, ground out. Fisher records his first ever career save. Blue Jays win 6-5. Arguably one of my favorite highlight games I've watched this season. When I got home from work, and one of my favorite Blue Jays in 30s, just because it was an absolutely incredible game to watch them come back like that. Now getting into Saturday's game, which we lost. I have a lot to say about Saturday's game. I really do. I have a lot. So, Saturday was Yesavage, and Yesavage was having a pretty rough go. Yesavage had 7 walks over the course of 5 innings. He had only allowed 2 hits, though, and 1 run and 7 walks. He had 4 strikeouts. Yesavage was clearly battling something. What that is, we don't know. I do believe some of it could have been handled a little better, but the fact he went 5 innings with only allowing 1 run, I was really happy with. That could have been a whole lot worse. He kept us in that ball game that whole time. The first run he actually allowed was in the bottom of the 3rd, which was on a single, because there's this couple on. Whatever, 1-0. You're thinking, oh, all right, it's fine. The Jays can come back, take the lead and win this. That's what all of us are thinking, especially how the last 2 games got played. I believe in them. I have confidence, whatever. Bottom of the 4th, we have a Vladdy single, a couple outs. Sanchez doubles, Vladdy scores, Ernie Clement single, Sanchez scores. Blue Jays now have the lead. You're thinking, oh my God, this team has finally figured it out. And this was the one game I got to watch. And that's when I'm thinking, yes, we finally figured it out. They're gonna hopefully win 5 straight for the first time this season. Bottom of the 4th, Yesavage is still battling, and I literally said, he is playing with fire. The amount of double plays that man had to get out of tight situations was absolutely insane. Top of the 5th, can't score, a couple walks. The team's getting on base. We're starting to see some positive. Varsho, top of the sixth, tried to expand a double and a single, couple outs, whatever. Still 2-1. Top of the eighth inning, kind of boring game. There were some hits, walks. Pitchers were kind of both having pitching duels a little bit. Top of the eighth inning, Lucas single, Vladdy single. If Vladdy's the king of singles this season, I don't care. He's getting on fucking base and he's contributing to this team. And I know those big hits are still in him, and I know he's going to come at a time when we need him. And I can feel he is coming through right now when we need him. Varsho Okamoto is heating up, and I can tell because Kaz Okamoto hits a double. Blue Jays are now up 4-1. It's a great game. Top of the eighth inning, up 4-1. Absolutely insane. Miles Straw comes into the game. He gets a walk. They can't bring him in. Whatever. Bottom of the eighth, 3 up, 3 down. They brought in Louis Varland for the eighth inning because it was their, I believe it was their 2, 3, and 4 hitters, or it was 3, 4, and 5. I don't remember which it was exactly, and I can't find who he faced. I have been digging, and I cannot find it. She might be able to. I believe it was Rutschman, Alonso, Basil he faced. I don't know. I don't remember now, and I can't figure it out. But yeah, absolute perfect time. I fully agree with Varland coming in there because you'd rather him face, yeah, I think it was the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. You'd rather him face those 3 guys rather than the bottom of the order in the ninth, because this is when you know he's important. And it was a good opportunity. Rogers had done the 6th inning to keep us in the game. Like, they kind of moved everybody up a little bit to figure it out. Top of the 9th inning, a Vladdy double after Nathan had walked. There's a fielding error, allows Nathan to score. The Jays are at 5-1. You're thinking, oh my God, this is a win. Like, we are going to take a series in Baltimore. Psych. All I'm going to say here, this is going to be, I'm going to tear Hoffman apart. That's fair warning, we're tearing Hoffman apart. And I don't like to destroy people or to, like, smash players on here. I do not agree with that, but this needs to be said. And I think there's issues with Hoffman that need to be discussed more. And I think they need to figure out how to help him have his confidence and pitch to your defense. That's one of my big issues with what happened in this 9th inning. Gets a strikeout. Okay, perfect. Let's go. Hits Kobe Mayo. Allows a triple. Okay, whatever. 1 run. It's 5-2. Who cares? Holiday singles. Okay, now it's 5-3. Okay, a little close now, Hoffman. Like, it's the 5. Actually, I can actually tell who he faced now. I remember now. I can tell who he faced. Oops. Yeah. So. I hit the wrong thing. I lost my little note. Yeah, so okay, so Varland had faced the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th batter. Hoffman had 5, 6, and 7, those 3 batters. So gets Basil first strikeout, perfect. Hits Kobe Mayo. You're like, shit. Tavares triples. Kobe Mayo scores. Okay, whatever. 5-2, as I was saying. Jackson Holiday. So on our 7-hitter now, which could have been the 3rd out of the game. Singles. Okay, now it's 5-3. Now I'm getting a little kind of panicked. I'm like, you had a 4-run lead. Let's get down to 2. So then, Corser, the number 9 hitter, doubles. And I'm like, what the hell? And at this point, I was kind of thinking, okay, this is when if I was P. Walker, I would need to go out there. Hoffman now has 2 guys on and the winning run at the plate. You need to go out there and talk him down and give him a breather and get a game plan going. Taylor Ward comes out to the plate. He walks. It's now, bases are now loaded, and it is 5-4. Because he walked in a run. Then they bring in Seabold, and I feel horrible for Seabold because I feel like he was set up to fail here, and I honestly do. You cannot, and you're so new. You come into the bases loaded, and it's a tie game. Now I'm questioning myself. Yeah, it's a tie game. No, it's a 1-run game and the bases are loaded for you with 1 out. I feel like he was set up to fail. And I honestly do. And I hate to say that, but that's how I feel like it was. Anyways, he walks in a batter, which is Adley Rutschman. Game's now tied. There's still only 1 out. I'm like, okay, just get it to extras, please. Can we get it to extras and win there? And unfortunately not, because Pete Alonso comes up and hits a single and walks it off. This is one of the biggest meltdowns I've ever seen by this team. And I think I cried. I honestly wanted to cry and break something. I'm not going to lie. And I know a lot of people like to blame John and Pete, how it was managed. It's fully on Hoffman. I really want to tweet a tweet later seeing one of the guys, like, they had a player meeting or one of them punched him in the face. And I hate to say that, and I really actually mean I do not like to say that about other people and what I think they should do. But if I was one of those players and we played well, scored 5 runs, and a guy comes in and blows it, I would be pissed. And in my kind of opinion on Hoffman is, people are like, he's pitched like this many times in this many days. Hoffman's that guy that says, I like to pitch more than sit. And it's been very vocal about that. And people are like, well, he pitched 2 9-innings the other day. I'm like, okay, well, clearly something's going on with him. We were up by less than those, yes. He had a 4-run lead and we lost. And people are like, well, he just can't close, keep him in the 7th. I'm like, yes, I agree with that, but also, if we need somebody else to come up then, he needs to be able to pitch somewhere else. And people are like, well, he just can't close. I'm like, I don't even looking like that as closing out a game. You're up by 4 runs. Think of it as you're pitching an inning. It's an inning of work. Fisher came in on the Friday night game in a 1-run game, had never pitched a 9th inning to get a save in his life, and got the save. Clearly, there's either something wrong in his head or something where he just kept throwing ball after ball after ball. Like, at least throw a strike where, like, they can roll it over and get a double play, because that's what your offense is there to, like, your defense is there to do. I honestly feel like once he loses it, he's not going to get it back. And this is a very popular opinion as DFA him right now. I don't think that's the way to go. One of 2 reasons. For one, we do not have the pitching depth to support getting rid of Hoffman. They're all youngsters, and they're all, I don't want to say not ready, but I feel like I know when Hoffman's on, he's on. And I feel like we don't have a lot of that available down there. If the head office could trade or acquire a closer or another strong reliever, because I don't know what the hell's happening with, like, Garcia, and I don't think we'll even see him this year. Or, like, if Cease is going to be, not Cease, if Bieber's going to be coming back soon, hold on to him till Bieber gets back, Fish can get moved. It sounds like Cease is only going to miss 2 starts, and, like, you can figure it out then, because some guys will get moved around. But I honestly think you cannot DFA Hoffman without acquiring another major league arm. That's the reality. And I know a lot of people do not like to hear that, but we need another arm if we are going to DFA Hoffman. What I personally think they should do is, he's no more in the 9th inning, but I understand why they did it. You should be able to pitch to the 5, 6, and 7 hitters and get 3 outs and a 4-run lead. You should be able to do it if rookies can. if like little kids who it's their first full years up here, or they're making their debut and they're pitching better than you, there's an issue there, dude. But yeah, I honestly would not be opposed for them sending Hoffman to AAA, saying, listen, you're going to go down there, you're going to work on your stuff and figure out what's wrong with mentally. Even seeing a sports psychologist, as somebody who sees a psychologist for other issues, it can help so much. Cause, like, I don't know if he's seeing one or what, like, maybe have him see one that could explain maybe there's something mentally in his head and they can work through it and find ways when he's out on that mound to deal with it and keep his stuff and locate. Like, I just feel like either send him down to get some help or figure out ways to help him and don't put him in the 9th inning anymore. I don't care if we're up by 10 runs. Clearly, he cannot pitch the 9th inning. And I think he should be able to, as a guy who's making, I think it's either $11 or $15 million a year, or whatever his contract is. I think you should be able to pitch with a 4-run lead and not blow the game. Yeah, I'm not quite happy with how that did. And I don't blame John at all. Your pitcher should be able to go out there and close out a game with a 4-run lead. So, I was really upset by the end of this game. And I remember when I was on social media later that day, I think I told people if they mention the game, I'm blocking you because I don't want to talk about it. And I was just frustrated. Game 4 was worse. I'm so glad I was at work for this one. Bottom of the 3rd inning, which was lovely. The Baltimore scored 5 runs. And then the second they had scored one, I don't even know what happened here. Just the bleeding would not stop. Yeah, Miles got lit up. That's the reality. Miles allowed 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts over 3 innings. And I'm really glad we had an off date on Monday because they definitely needed that. I don't even know what happened. Like, bottom of the 3rd, I know it was a single, walk, sack, bunt, which got him, and then a fly out, walk, strikeout, got out of it, whatever. And this was Miles' first official start without nobody in front of him, so it's kind of like, maybe he does work better. Like, I kind of get maybe that, like, okay, you're kind of stretched up a couple innings, now let's get you first, see how you do with it. That's what I almost feel like John was kind of thinking here, and Walker. Bottom of the 3rd, though, it kind of fell apart. Fly out, single, walk, single, run scores, double, run scores, and then a 3-run home run. Baltimore scores 5 runs on 4 hits. So I don't know what happened here. They pulled him after the home. They didn't pull him. They pulled him. He didn't come back out for the 4th. But I don't know what happened, if something was off, like with his pitches or something. But it seemed like a whole lot of bad luck the last 2 games of the series. And I fully still have a ton of confidence in Miles for his next start. I honestly feel like they could or could not, but I feel like they most likely will go back to having somebody in front of him. I feel like that's what works better for him, and it has worked very well his last 2. And I would not be surprised if we see that, because clearly it's worked. The one game you don't do it, it didn't work. You go back to what is working, having either Fisher or Miles start in front of him. I also believe Fisher may have been down this day just because of the pitching of the C's bullpen game, is what we're going to call it, and then the other game. I just kind of feel like there might have been a combo of less guys available, because I know some are getting a little, like, they're being a little overworked, so they're trying to save some arms. I feel like that could have been part of it. But yeah, we have a couple clean innings. Mako had a great 2 clean innings. Only allowed 1 hit, 1 strikeout over 2 innings. Absolutely great. And then the new guy, Hanover? I don't know how you say his name. I'm sorry. Starts with an H. I don't know. He came in. He did 1 inning. He allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, and 2 walks. And we'll break that down, which was the bottom of the 6th. So he walk, single, walk, bases are loaded. Ground out, 1 scores, double, 1 scores, and sac fly, 3 score. Thing at the end. So 3 runs on 2 hits was not exactly what you were looking for there. And his ERA now is 27. I gotta love inflated ERAs, like their first game, and I give up 3 runs on 1 inning. And then it kind of got positive. We scored on the top of the first after a single, force out. There was an error. We scored on the error. Gotta love when we score on errors. Gotta love it, guys. So I don't know. I'm like, oh, come back. Just kind of being an ass because I'm like, we're not coming back from 9-0. That was my reality. I'm like, I saw that score. I'm like, oh my God, just get the boys out of Baltimore into Atlanta. Please, can we get out of here? Go to Atlanta, and then we come home and we'll face Baltimore again at home. But at least we're at home, and now we've learned some stuff. Bottom of the 8th, Luke single, 2 out, and then 2 outs. Okamoto walks. Clement doubles, and then Yantek Pinyango hits a home run. The Jays are all of a sudden within 4 runs, and I was like, oh, maybe they'll come back again. But I'm like, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling that same kind of luck with this game after the meltdown Hoffman had the game before. I kind of feel like this game they went in still thinking of that, and everything went wrong. Yeah, obviously they couldn't come back. That was the top of the 8th. I just not enough time to come back at that point. Yeah, top of the 9th, 3 of 3 down. I don't know. I kind of threw the last 2 games out of the window, especially after the Hoffman meltdown is the name on Twitter. I read a lot of stuff. I was doing a deep dive on Hoffman that night, and I read a lot of stuff and a lot of fan opinions. And a lot of people agree. Either keep him in the 7th inning, where he's doing fantastic, or just don't. Just don't. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not worried. My biggest thing is I'm not gonna worry about it. It was one bad weekend. There's going to be bad weekends, and we still took 2 out of 4. We still took 2 out of 4, which to me is pretty damn good. I was saying I wanted a series split or 3 out of 4. So I'm taking one of my predictions right, and I feel pretty good about the 2 out of 4. Anyways, we are going to jump into the Brave series, which is kicking off tonight, which is when, yeah. So our first game is Kevin Gausman versus Elder. Am I allowed to be scared about this series? Like, a little bit. So the Braves have been pitching very well, and they've been playing some pretty good baseball. They are the first team to 40 wins this season. But so Elder, the last time he pitched, he got like destroyed. He got kind of a little blown up. He is recently he is 3-2 in his last 5, which ironically both of those losses came from Boston. His last one was the worst though. He went 3.1 innings, allowed 9 hits on 6 runs, 5 earned. So yeah, they lost 8-0 that day. So this is gonna sound crazy, but if we can get to him and Gausman's on, I feel like we have a pretty good chance of winning, because his ERA has been up between 2 and just under 2. So like, if we can get to him, please. Like, look what Boston did 5 days ago at this point, and do what Boston did. I feel like there's a pretty good chance there, and I would not be surprised if we could do something against this man. So I don't know how confident I feel in this game, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really hoping we can do something here. Gausman's been pretty good, even other than like that Miami start, basically. But Gausman's ERA is a little higher than his. Gausman has a little bit more strikeouts, 3 less innings. His whip is 1 tick lower, and they both have the exact same record. So I don't know. I'm really hoping we can get to Elder. I don't know how the bullpen's name, but yeah. Atlanta's won 11 more games than we have, which kind of freaks me out. Yeah, we're really bad on the road. We're 12-18 on the road. And ironically, in our last 10 games, we're 6-4, and so is Atlanta. So, I don't know. I think the Atlanta series is going to be pretty interesting. Like, pretty interesting. But who knows? We'll figure it out. Game 2, kicking this off. This is going to be Corbin. Oh my god, we finished with a bullpen game. This is going to be Corbin versus Sale. Sale has an ERA of 2.2. I don't know. Corbin's really got to be on. Like, that's the reality of this. In his last outing, he only allowed 2 runs on 6 hits. That's over 5 innings. So I don't know. And he took the loss a couple times, but like, we just gotta score runs. Reality is, we score runs against these guys and we don't let them score more, we're fine. Which sounds so stupid when I say that out loud. Oh my god, this guy's thrown 103 times in his last starts and 96 in the other 2. And has gone 6 or more innings other than his last start. Every time I read these stats, it makes me more terrified. I will be happy if we can go into Atlanta and take 2 out of 3. And I'm not even saying sweep. No, it's not possible. Because if we can take 2 out of 3, we leave Atlanta 1 game under 500. That's the reality. We take 2 out of 3, we're 1 game under 500. The third game. It's a night game. It's not going to show me the Brave starter because ours is a bullpen. That won't tell me there. I don't know who their third starter is. Yes, I do. I'm trying to remember their name. I can't remember Oh, it's Chris Sale. And I have no clue what his numbers are. I can figure them out in 10 seconds if you give me a second. Chris Sale. I'll find him. His ERA is 2.1. That's lovely. His last start, though, he only allowed 2 runs on 6 hits. Fuck. But these were against Boston, and Boston's struggling worse than we are, and they lost. Like, they won 10-2. So, I don't know. If we can get to these guys, and our bullpen, for this is the bullpen game, our bullpen can hold on and not allow these runs, we'll be great. That's my take. On the Atlanta series, if we can ding up a couple of their starters early on or get some good hits and at bats, not swing at every pitch outside the zone, which we have been really bad for this season compared to last season, a whole lot worse, and have some good at bats, I really do feel like we will succeed in this series. I really do. I think it's one of those we just got to go in, take a deep breath, forget about what happened in Baltimore. They had an off day on Monday, and there is some really great pictures that somebody took from Miles Straw streaming on a lake, fishing with Savage and Varland. I think it was somebody else. And Davis was in the chat trolling them. So clearly they've had time to reset. Some great screenshots that I saw that, and I'm really happy they took that time to reset because I feel like that'll be really good for them, and I feel like it could lead to some really good stuff happening. But anyways, we are going to jump in our injury update segment of this podcast. This is also my longest ever, which is crazy. Okay, so starting off with Max Scherzer, he pitched Sunday for the Bisons. He did 3 scoreless innings. Snyder struck, oh my god, Scherzer, geez Louise, struck out 4, walked 2. It was 41 pitches, 24 for strikes. I don't really like that comparison. Probably would have liked to see a little bit more strikes. And his fastball averaged 93.3. He got 4 whiffs with his slider. He got 7 with he he got 4 of his 7 with his slider, which is pretty damn good for Scherzer. So I was really happy to hear about that because he had a good start. We like to hear that. And that always seems to look good when they have that. I know it is different from the majors and stuff will change, but I always feel like the AAA aspect of their numbers rehabbing is a lot different compared to like the single A because in single you don't see major leagues, and AAA you do because of a lot of them can go down there and rehab. Bieber. He went 2.1 innings, allowed 5 earned, 6 hits on 49 pitches with 2 strikeouts. No walks. So I don't know what the hell happened down there. If there are like just bloops, what the hell, misplays, who knows. But yeah. Bieber did not have a good start. I don't think it'll impact him at all. I honestly do believe his next start could be in AAA Buffalo for about 4 innings. I honestly think he could be. I don't know if he will be. I'm really hoping it is. I think Scherzer is guaranteed at least another start in Buffalo before he's activated. And I honestly think having both these guys come back, even if they use Miles in a long game sort of way to build off, say it goes Bieber, he can do only about 3-4 innings. If Bieber then Miles, I honestly think there'll be some kind of tandem duo for a little bit till they work their pitch counts up, and I would be very happy with that. The other guys, we did have some ones. So Addison Barger has resumed hitting finally at batting cages at the Blue Jays complex in Florida. Kirk has been taking BP on the field, should progress to high hitting pitching machines in coming days. A high velocity pitching machines in the coming days is what I meant to say. So, which is pretty much what they said. They'd reevaluate him on the 5th when they got back from the road trip, which is Friday. And if they were liking what he was looking, he'd be in rehab games by next week. So, all is going well with Kirk, which we like to hear. Also, there could be other pitching relief coming to AAA because AAA has had a lot of injuries too. Ricky Tiedemann, who was shut down this spring due to elbow soreness, is continuing to throw bullpens at the Blue Jays Player Development Complex. He is nearing his first live BP and will throw 2 to 4 of those to make sure everything checks out before he's back in games. So that's a really good positive sign, and I'm really happy to hear that. But yeah. We also got some update on Manaply. So after he received his second opinion on his left knee, he is going for arthroscopic surgery. I guess there's some damage in there they want to clean up. There's no operation date or recovery time yet, but Blue Jays manager Schneider says it isn't season ending, so he'll be out in a little while. Probably, my guess is probably August at this point. I don't even know. But that's mainly it for the injury updates. I feel like guys are slowly coming back, and I'm really happy to hear that. I assume Nance is still throwing. That would be our last update, and I hope he's still throwing because there hasn't been any more. I'm sure there'll be more before the start of the game today, but can I appreciate how much I love the social team? MLB today posted like the top performers of the season as we enter June, and they didn't include Varland on there. And the Jays social team replied with a gif of Varland breathing, which is absolutely incredible. But yeah. Oh my god, they're replying to all of them. One of them is MLB's pitching leaders for the month away, 0 ERA, inning pitch, strikeout, saves, and they replied to Varland because he also had a 0 ERA in the month of May. I absolutely love the team. But yeah, anyways, that's all I have for today's podcast episode. Brave series starts tonight. Let's go Blue Jays. Comeback time. Forget what happened in Baltimore. It's all good, guys. Bad days happen. Do not let it get to you. I will see you all after the Atlanta Braves series. Let's go Blue Jays. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Bye.